Thanks for coming tonight. I have a pre-test for y'all to take. It'll just compare what we're learning about tonight, what you know before, and what you will know after. Here's a pen. Pencils. Thank you. Okay, no, you're fine. I'm trying to figure out what Okay. So, before we get started, we're going to go over the rules. Number 1, no cell phone. 2, be respectful. And 3, confidentiality. And just, we're saying with that is what was said in here stays in here, and we don't tell anybody about anything anybody says, and, just stays in here. Oh, and I also want to make sure that it's okay with each one of you that we are recording tonight. Yes. I mean, it doesn't get your faces, just your voices and stuff.
And the only people who see it are us and our instructors at school. So it's not, we're not going to post it to YouTube as a live feed, nothing like that. So yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to sit down.
Yeah, you're still good.
We are going to start tonight with an icebreaker to get to know each other a little bit. So let's just go around and say your name and say what the weirdest thing you've ever eaten is. Who wants to start? Okay.
I'm Emily, and maybe the squid.
Oh, wow.
It's actually really good.
It tastes like chicken. It's alligator.
Alligator, yeah.
Sure.
Okay, I'm Candace, and I guess I haven't eaten a whole lot of strange things, but I would have to say raw tuna, like sushi raw tuna.
My name is Tia, and I would say the strangest thing, I didn't actually eat it, but I watched other people. I was just like, that's not happening. But I actually traveled to Korea, and they ate beetles as kind of like a snack. So it would be like a bowl of beetles, like kind of like how you sell hot dogs in a cart. So I just thought that was the strangest thing ever. So people would just be picking up the little beetles and eating them kind of crunchy. But that's the strangest thing I've seen other people eat.
I'm Corinne, and I am not an adventurous eater, so I was trying to think of the strangest thing I've ever had. And I honestly can't think of anything like really out of the ordinary. I remember I ate scallops one time, and I got super sick, so I know not to eat them anymore. But that's the only thing. So.
My name's Lily also, and I don't try new things a lot. I ate deer meat once, but that's not really that strange. It just tastes like normal steak, but I guess that's the most uncommonly eaten food that I've eaten. I'm Chelsea, and mine is probably
I'm Brooke, and the weirdest thing I ate was ram. I was on Irish and strip and keep that. And it really wasn't that bad. It just tasted like roast beef. We are okay. Now we're gonna play a game. A little that related because we're gonna be talking about crabs in a little while. And crabs aren't that weird. Lots of people eat them, but it kind of just goes with that. Yeah.
I think those.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're good.
So now we're gonna play a game, and so everyone stand up, and one person, well, I can play two. One person can be it. Who wants to be it?
I'll be it if nobody else does it.
Okay. So the person that's it goes out in the hall, and we all stand in a circle, and while you're out in the hall, we will choose who is the leader, and the leader will be doing some random thing, and everyone will have to follow the leader. And then you'll have to figure out who starts it. Have you played this before? Yeah. Okay. And then, you'll change it in a few minutes or whatever, and everyone has to follow. But you have to be sneaky so that she doesn't catch the person. Does that make sense? Okay. And then whoever she catches, or whoever is it she catches, they're it next. So you all same as
Okay, so say it again.
okay. Whoever is the leader has to starts this, and then everyone has to follow.
What they're doing,
Yeah.
and she has to pick who the leader is.
Yeah, she has to figure out who starts it.
Okay. So who's the leader?
Change it.
So who's the leader? Anybody? Okay, I'll go. So I just gotta. Okay. Ready? Okay. Did she gonna click on
Yeah,
me?
Billy, come in. Okay, and you say on the I guess. That's probably true. Well, okay. Sure.
Well, like,
I was wondering, I was like, why haven't I
I
started?
think she might hear it.
Oh,
so.
that's true.
Okay.
That was too easy.
Okay, so now you're in.
Okay.
You can hear out there, but I didn't hear it. But like after this, I was really afraid.
That's good. Pretty honestly. Ready?
Yeah.
Corinne told on you. Her eyes were just like on
You
you.
can't look at it. Use your peripheral vision, Mom. But it's superhero.
Her eye was just glued on her. I was like, yeah, she's looking at somebody over here.
Okay.
Right. Let's see. I don't remember.
What really good? It's not.
Oh, yeah, that was really good.
I'll just
Because she clapped first.
Okay, do you want to go or do you go? Okay, we can go over time and then.
Oh, is it you? I know it's like somewhere over here because they're all looking. Good job, guys. Is it you?
Oh, she was the best one.
Okay, that was it's hard to catch it.
Where'd my drink go?
Right here. I didn't want it to spill.
Yeah, I know, I was scared too, but I didn't know where to put it.
Okay. So that was just a fun game called Follow the Leader, and like talking about following the leader. Like you can follow the leader in positive places or someone who's a leader into negative places. And it kind of ties into what we're talking about. We're talking about peer pressure tonight and how it can, usually when you think of peer pressure, you think, oh, negative, like people not making, but wanting you to smoke or drink or something. But lots of times peer pressure can be good to do, like, better in school or, stuff like that. So tonight, the illustration is about crabs. Like I said, crabs, when you cook them alive. And you put them in a boiling pot of water, and they try to claw themselves out. But they can't, often they can't because the other crabs will have their claws tangled in them, trying to get them, pulling them down. And so they can never get out. Most times you have to put something really heavy on the lid to keep them in. So here is a illustration or a video of it, which I thought was very interesting, but I could actually find it.
You may have to hit the power button. It goes to sleep very easily for that. And then just hit my name.
Okay, here we go. And it even has really good captions about how the crabs are trying to keep them in. Can you see this? Okay.
Lift it up a little bit. Yep.
Turn the other light off too.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I read those captions though.
You can't.
Yeah, the
It
captions.
says, "Hey, let go of me. Come on, let me go. No way. How could you leave us behind? Alright, I'll stay. Hey, little fella, don't be scared. Come here, give me a hug." Yeah, that's perfect. And he settles back into the pot for his death. But yeah. So, the way we are tying this into peer pressure is that sometimes you're in a pot, like you are in a situation, and your friends can be the other crabs that can hold you down, that can keep you in. And the people that we hang out with can keep us in or pull us out, help us pull up and help us be a better person. So, have you ever noticed that with certain people you tend to get in more trouble, or even if it's not like anything big, just little things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And sometimes it's not even you, but they pull you in, and it seems like it's you. Okay, so what are some pots, like this kind of pot, that teenagers nowadays are in, and that their peers pull them in? It doesn't even have to be sorry, go ahead.
Like doing things that friends will try to put you into doing.
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay. So like drinking, drugs, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Or even things like just being negative and gossiping. Sometimes if you're around people that are gossiping all the time about people, they will get you in the mindset of, oh, that's normal, it's not that big a deal. And so it pulls you down because you don't realize that you're in that fire. just little things like that.
I would say shopping, because sometimes it seems like when you go, I don't know if everybody else knows that, sometimes it seems like when you go shopping with other people, you're either buy things that you probably wouldn't normally buy, like, because they're just like, oh, it's so cute, and you're thinking, not really, but that, or sometimes you'll end up spending more than you would have spent on your budget. So I mean, it's a type of peer pressure when you have other people with you. So then you're thinking, well, I gotta buy this because she thinks it's cool, or so.
Yeah. So true. I have a friend that's like that. Really bad. I don't like going shopping with them. What about just like skipping class? I know there's, I had a friend in high school who it was band, so it was easier for her to talk me into that, well, let's just go, get some ice cream instead of going to class. It's, sometimes it's easy to give into it. And it's not that big of a thing, but it can become a habit, become a pot that you get pulled into. So, when you get into trouble, do you keep yourself or others in? Does that make sense? I'm gonna read it again. When you get in trouble or in the pot, do you keep yourself or others in?
Try to help me out.
That's good. Try to pull them out of the pot.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. So, talking about that, what are qualities of a good friend that will help pull people out of the pot to keep them out of the pot altogether?
Like if they really don't want to do something, they won't try and keep the person from doing it. Even if it is just something small, it's still important.
What about a good listener? And they'll listen when you say, no, I have to go to class. Any others? It doesn't even have to be about these kind of problems, like you're trying to pull them out or whatever. Just basic qualities of good friends.
I think a good friend is somebody who will encourage you to go after your goals. Like sometimes there are some things that you wouldn't have done. Like, I don't know, let's say take part of a dance recital, but you have her or him encouraging you to say, you're pretty good. You might want to try it. So it's a good quality to have a friend that'll encourage you to go after your goals.
What about an honest friend, a trustworthy friend? Any other interesting?
Someone that's like not afraid to say no.
Yeah, so someone that will just stick up to their beliefs. I agree with all of those. So, what are characteristics of a bad friend?
Dishonest.
Honest is interesting. Lie to you to get you to do whatever.
Someone that's not afraid to get pulled into a pot.
Someone that's really cool.
Doesn't have their own good set of morals and stuff like that.
If they don't respect your morals, all the things that you don't want to do.
And that's huge. Because that's hard if people aren't. If they don't care. Yeah. What about
Someone who puts you down,
yeah.
I would say, would be a bad friend.
Yeah. You need to go with that, which is not respectful. Like you just kind of goes with everything. Respectfulness is kind of an overarching thing. But yeah, those are good. So, of those two, obviously we all want a better friend that's gonna help us not be that. And it's sometimes you don't even realize it. sometimes you don't, but then you have to really sometimes sit back and assess and really think about it, about whether they are a good friend or not to you. Because it may be some like little things. Okay, so if you were in a pot, or if you were in a situation like this, who would want to see you climb out of the pot? Like any specific friends or family?
Can you repeat the question?
If you were in a pot, like in even just a little thing, like who would want to see you come out of this? Like friends or family, like specific people.
Parents would want to see me like that.
One that I always go back to is my Sunday school teacher. She always tells us like what she wants us to do in life, and that if we need anything, she's always there.
That's awesome. It's great to have those older ones to be there for you.
Who did she say? Her Sunday school teacher?
So, what are some of your reasons for staying out of trouble or
Because it's not the right thing to do.
Yeah. It's not the smartest thing to do these things sometimes. What about just like in the future, I guess? Yeah. Like if you get caught in little things, you know, you keep going and going and going, and it become even worse in the future, and you may not meet your goals or things like that. Okay.
Jesus, maybe? Like,
Yeah.
not do bad things for, like, so probably doing the right thing in his eyes. I think.
For your own happiness. So.
Those are both kind of good. Because we do want to please Jesus and enable him in our own happiness. Because if you're doing something that's not, you know is not right, then you're not very happy. Even if you are for the moment, like, it can be fun, but in the long run, it's not going to make you happy. Okay, so, well, the next question is, what would your future be like if you don't get out? Which we kind of just discussed.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. It's true. We get wrapped up in it and we won't reach our goals.
I'll be able to come out of it the longer you can stay in there.
Yeah. Exactly. The more, like, isn't there a metaphor about the frog getting stuck? Is that a different? Maybe I'm thinking of a different thing. But yeah, the longer that you get stuck in there, the harder it is to get out. So a lot of these questions we've already talked about. So, but if you, sometimes when you try to get out, the harder you try, the better you get out. But when you get out, sometimes you are attacked. Like, the longer you've been in it, the harder it's going to be, the harder people are going to be on you, I guess. Especially those people who are trying to hold you down. And it's just kind of the way it is. But it's possible, you know, and you just have to strive and strive and I mean, I'm sure y'all are in big pots or things, because y'all are just great girls. But that's just a warning that, you know, I say. So, what strategies or tools can you use to get out of this pot?
Not getting mixed in with those people in the first place.
Yeah.
And you can tell who's going to help you get farther and who's going to drag you down.
That's the key. It's just like figuring out it, I guess. Because it's easier than already getting into it and then like, oh, I should get out there. And so there's that, and then if you're in it, friends and family, the Bible can help with that. And just, there's so many different resources. Anything else?
I think it's important to have like a self-awareness too, so that, because like some things you may be able to stand really firm on, like smoking. That's a really one that everybody uses for peer pressure, and so it's like, you're not going to smoke, and it doesn't really, that peer pressure doesn't really get to you. But somebody going shopping, then you're enticed to spend every single penny that you've earned at your brand new job. So you have to be kind of self-aware of what you are able to withstand and not able to withstand, so that you can set some really firm boundaries. So, because even good friends might have qualities that influence you negatively, so being aware of what, for your own personal sake, I think is important.
Yeah, it is true. And know what she said, know what you can handle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big part of it. Because, like little things like shopping, you're not on your guard for it, I guess. And you just have to be aware. Choose what you get into. Okay, so have another activity, and I need 2 volunteers.
Peer pressure. Right now. What's the pot?
I'll answer the question while I'm doing some.
Okay. Thank you, girls. Okay. Stand up. Okay. What?
Are we going to do this too?
Just
Okay, we'll listen. Okay.
Okay. Okay. One of you stand on the chair.
Take your shoes off. Take your heels off.
Go for it.
Okay. Now you have to try to pull her up. But you can't help. You can't be like, okay, you have to like just.
We're obviously going to fall over. We're both wearing dresses.
I mean,
I
don't
will
fall
be
over.
your spotter.
Yeah, well,
I'm a spotter here.
you don't have to try that hard, but
Oh, bless it. Oh, bless it.
Okay, now you try to pull her down.
Wait, what? Okay. So,
You can't do anything.
okay, yeah.
Sorry, this is really awkward with y'all in dresses, but
I got you.
Just take me down! Okay, 1, 2, 3, like a little baby.
okay, good job. Okay,
Point
so
out that it was easier for her to take you down than
yes,
from you.
yes, exactly.
I was afraid that if I grabbed your legs, you're gonna flash
I know, that makes it harder in no dress. But the point of that is, it's a lot easier for you to pull her down than for her to pull you up. So sometimes it's hard, like with the people we surround ourselves with. We may try to hang out with people that we know might not have the best intentions or whatever. We're gonna pull them up, or we're gonna just hang out with them. But they can pull us down a lot easier than we can pull them up. And so it's just something to keep in mind.
It's better is not to get in the body all this
Good point.
So it's just being aware of your friends and of all the influences around you. But do y'all have any thoughts or any questions about that? That's a frogs.
I was gonna say, has anyone ever been in a situation where they decided to change and it seems like their friends are making it more difficult for them to do the right thing? I don't know if that makes sense. Kind of like, if everyone, like, let's say, if everyone was not doing their homework, and then you decide, well, I want to do my homework, but you're the only one that wants to do that. Sometimes it seems like, even though they were your friends before, but just because you're choosing to change, it's a lot harder. That's something I've noticed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's a good thing too, like, a good example of a homework plan. Like that may not sound like a little big thing, but, when you hang out with friends who don't do their homework or don't care that much about school, and then they want you to go hang out with them at the mall all the time instead of doing your homework, and they don't really seem to care about your studies and stuff, that's kind of that can be a negative impression. You really don't want to think about that. Like, you just gotta be strong and say, no, which is hard. I know. But, okay. So, the key points were, don't get them caught at all. Just try your best. But if you do, use your friends that will help pull you out, and avoid the friends that will pull you down. And avoid those friends that pull you down in the first place, but, sometimes it's so we don't know. And then just, using your resources, your friends, your family, the church, the Bible, God, those kind of things to pull you out. So, hope that you crabs when I get stuck in the patch. Okay, and now I'm going to just wrap up the whole thing. Well, I tried. I can't remember what's going on. You girls weren't here the first weeks, but the first week we talked about, does anyone remember? Oh, you weren't there? Okay, so the first week we talked about tearing up labels. And we talked about, and Tia talked about how in a can, it'll say a label. It'll say pineapples. And so you have some pineapples on it. And sometimes we make pineapples. So we have labels on ourselves that say certain things. True, because people may call you something, but it's not true. It's just what people say. And then the next session we learned about defense mechanisms in Corinne, and she just talked about positive ways to respond when you feel like you're being attacked. Because many times when you feel you're being attacked, you have a shield up, you have your guard up, because you don't want to feel attacked and you don't want to feel threatened or hurt. We talked about positive ways that we can just avoid that, and we can deal with this confrontation. And then last week, Candace talked about motivation and how sometimes you get stuck in a river. What was it?
Flood zone.
The flood zone. I was like, Lord. Flood zone because of certain things like erosion and but we can get ourselves out and go down the river, which is motivation, and flow is motivation to get to our end goal. And of course, we can talk about peer pressure, negative and positive, and how to just avoid it. To not get in the pot. So, does anybody else something?
I just wanted to share with you guys too, especially since we've had some transition and you guys are just joining us, but the purpose of our groups have been to kind of give you guys some skills and things that you can use just in your day-to-day walk as you transition, because your next step is to be adults, and this is the hardest time period in life to kind of navigate those decisions. So we wanted to equip you guys with some skills. If you feel like this would be something that you could use some more input on, or there is a specific issue that you're really struggling with that you'd like some kind of more in-depth resources for, I would be happy to get that information to you. So there are some things here in the local community to do that with, so that you can have that. We don't want you to leave the group. I know that this is our last session that we'll have for the purpose of this, but the skills are very useful, and so if you feel that there's some more information you need, then we don't want you to leave feeling like you don't have a resource to work with that. Okay, so I'll be taking some time after Brooke wraps this up here. I'll be here, and as we're kind of enjoying our treats and stuff, I'll go over a little bit more of that resource information with you guys. So just want you to be aware of that this is not the end all to life skill programs in Bradley County. So there are some other ways to get this information as well. So.
Okay, so just to have like a little from you guys, what were some, I mean, you don't have to say all three, but you can say something that you keep, something that you will not, what was it, throw out?
Yeah, something that you'll kind of leave in this room, not take with you.
Yeah, it's not that, wasn't that impactful on you, or something you'll pass on to other people. And so if anybody has anything of that, you don't even have to do all three, but just wanted to share.
From any of the sessions?
Yeah.
Or just yours?
Either.
I don't know if they answer. I really like the analogy with the cat and the cat because I just like pretty much perfect what peer pressure is, and so I'll always remember whenever someone says peer pressure, I'll always remember the cat. I'll probably keep that with me. What was the other one? Something to throw out and something I'll tell others.
Yeah.
I'll probably tell them like from
I like the whole little thing, like what me and Lily just did. Like it's a lot easier to drag people down and lift people up. So that's something I like to do too.
And then actually something that I've seen done talking about dating relationships, not just friendships. Because when you're dating a guy, it's a person who's not the best for you. It's easier for them to pull you down than you pull them up. Because it's really missionary dating and those aren't probably guys. That's a whole nother topic. I appreciate you guys coming so much. It means a lot to us, and I hope y'all learned some stuff and were able to just process the stuff as you go home and as you enjoy your spring break. Hopefully you've gotten something out of it. I'm going to give you a post test real quick.
And then we will have brownies and ice cream for you guys. So
And ice
don't
cream.
wait till test.
Yes.
And there's lots of salsa and chips left.
No, actually her lesson was the best part, Mom. Sorry.
I'll stand corrected, Brooke.
Well, we know.
Guess for me, the chocolate was everything. That's the one thing I would be taking with me.
There you go.
Do you take them the brownies?
Yes, all of them. I made muffins the other day, and it was like, "Did you make muffins for you?" I was like, "Yes, all 12 of them." Yes, I can.
The end.